You're listening to Club G on Radio Italiana 531, and you're with your host, Clara. Well, my name's Clara, and I've got Aaron with me.
Ciao, buonasera a tutti.
Hello. So, Aaron, we've got a special guest on with us tonight. So, chatting with us tonight, we have the one and only Magic Leb, also known as Majid Andrew. I'm hope that I'm pronouncing your name wrong.
I'm out of here. I'm leaving. You can't get my name right.
He's an Adelaide comedian, sketch writer, podcast host, filmmaker and creative mind behind Fame Film Agency that he owns. So we're going to be chatting all things comedy, content creation and his journey so far. So let's give a big welcome to Magic Leb. Welcome on Club G.
Thank you for having me. It's awesome being here with Clara and Aaron.
That's your new name, Aaron.
Not the first or last time I've heard
I think that show ruined your name for life. It ruined all the Aarons. Because I can't help but say that. You know, I mean, that sketch just like makes you want to purposely mispronounce people's
The
names.
amount of times I think I've been tagged in it and sent it is
Aaron.
uncountable now.
I want to start calling you that now.
Yeah.
You're done fucked up now, Aaron. Oh, I should have asked, what's the censoring situation like in the show? I should be cursing.
Oh yeah, no swearing as much as possible if you
Okay,
can.
Been and done.
Yes.
But it has been done, so don't stress if it does happen.
No. We'll keep it PG. We'll keep it PG-13.
So can you tell us and the audience a little bit about yourself to start off with?
Oh, about me?
Yeah.
Who I am as a person?
Yeah.
Okay, well, a lot of people define themselves by their occupation, and by that I mean what they do for a living. So I'll tell you who I am without using my employment status. Majid Nderi is a very creative person, very passionate about things. I'm talking in the third person. He likes to make people smile, likes to make people laugh. Particularly when people are not feeling like if somebody's depressed or upset or anything like that, I take it upon myself to try to make that person happy. I go out of my way to make people comfortable. I'm very caring and I have a lot of empathy and I have a lot of sympathy for people who are struggling. I've always been like that, and that's always been a passion. Whenever I see things that disturb me or whatever, or any kind of emotion, I like to put that through media, either by writing something or doing a short story. And I used to do a lot of poetry when I was in my teens, so that's how I was.
Oh, wow, so the creative side of you kind of just was always there, and it's just a means of expression.
Well, yeah, I mean, like my brother handled it better than I did. He used to just hit people. And I really admired that because, like, you know, he was a badass, tough dude. And he was shorter than me, but he was a tough guy. And and like as much as I probably wanted to do that, I never did. I would hit a punching bag instead. But no, it's like because like when you get angry, you see like a white flash for a while. But when that part is over, you start to reflect on what you're angry about.
Yeah. And
then when that happens, you start to express how you're feeling about that, and then. You know that there's a saying, even the greatest rose can bloom from a pot of dirt. So when you see something horrible, something beautiful can still come out of it. And how you interpret it, how you want to envision it, and how you want to show what your interpretation is to others.
So like a diamond always brushes under extreme pressure.
Yeah, that's another good saying. Analogy. Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, there you go. Well, there's a little bit about Magic Leb right there. Well, I also want to know, I know that you have a Lebanese background, and I know we're on an Italian radio station, but can you chat to us like a little bit about that, and then also how you think that is very similar to the Italian culture?
Well, yeah, Lebanese, Italians, and Greeks, we do have something in common in terms of we are very family-oriented. Yeah. We have amazing food. When we have guests that come over, they can't leave unfed. Even if they don't want to eat, we make them eat against their will. It's just the way we are. Because if you don't eat, it's not that it's an insult. It's just like I believe Lebanese, Greeks, and Italians created the whole idea of reaction. You know how you have reaction videos today? Yeah. We had reactions to our meals on strangers who've never touched it before. We would like to see their faces go to like a place they've never been to before, like it's the greatest thing they've ever had in their life. Like, and we enjoy that. Yeah. That's what we like, But there is something that the Lebanese can learn from Italians and Greeks. It's we have our festivals. I wouldn't call them festivals. We have functions and gatherings. Italians and Greeks have festivals. Yeah, it's like Woodstock when you go to a Greek festival or Italian festival. It's like Woodstock. So many people there. We can't reach that level of success in our festivals because unlike the Greeks and the Italians, I'm sure there's rivalry within some Italian groups and there's probably some rivalry within Greek groups. But Lebanon's completely divided completely. We have 3,000 religions in the tiniest country in the world. So everybody's the head honcho. You know what I mean? Which is why there isn't a sense of unity that can create something as big as that, because we're all arguing too much, too busy arguing on how great it will be without ever making it great. I'm sure with the Greeks and Italians, they'll be like, okay, same person that was in charge last year is in charge this year because it was good last year. We're going to do it again this year. I'm sure their attitude towards organizing things is much healthier than the way that the Lebanese do it. And that's why I'm saying Lebanese could really learn something from the Greeks and Italians when it comes to pulling something off like that.
We have our ups and downs.
We do.
Yeah, there's a lot of behind the scenes bickering, but like you said, everyone does put their head down and we say we're going to do something and it'll get done.
But at least you got behind the scenes bickering. We bicker in front of people. Right? They see that we are falling apart and we don't care.
The honesty.
And then they start cursing each other out in Arabic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the hell with this or the hell with that. And you know what? Let's not just do it anymore. I don't want to do it anymore. You know? And it's like, if it can't be done this way, then it can't be done any other way. And it's like, you know, there is no room for compromise, you know? So, yeah.
Is there, I guess, an Italian tradition that you wish that was implemented in your culture?
Italian tradition? We could use a bit more Godfather stuff in our family. No, I'm not talking about the mafia. I'm talking about mafia stuff. No. No. Hey. You know, I mean, you got
everyone's got their
the
own.
Stereotype thing. You got the and we got the bang. But no, but that's just the stereotype. Now, if there's I mean, like I said, I believe that there is something that each can learn from others. But I think Lebanese people can benefit the most from learning from Italians and Greeks in particular. Even though Greeks and Italians and Lebanese, we have very similar foods as well.
Yeah, we do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, Greeks have souvlaki, we call it shawarma. You know, Italy has their pizzas, we call them menushis. We have something that's like, it's the same kind of dish. It's pastry with cheese and sauces and stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
You know?
Curious.
So that's probably why we get along so well. You know? I mean, if we're going to bicker, you know what stops the fight?
Food.
A meal.
Yeah.
The food. Like, then we just share, and then we argue about who's going to pick up the tab.
Yeah, literally.
All right, you've seen that pulling of the check. No. Put your hand back in your pocket.
Just like, you know, showing like people's hands. So you're like, no, I'm paying, and you like, and you pull their credit card away. It's just like
it keeps going. Yeah.
I think Italians are probably better negotiators, or they just, I don't know, maybe they know how to speak to people better, or maybe they know how to get their point through across without having to yell. You know, maybe you got
that really loud.
you know, because Lebanese people can be loud.
So can Italians.
You know?
Yes, I was going to say, I think it depends on the personality of the person. I don't know.
Is it like the more north of Italy you go, the louder they get kind of thing? Or is it...
No, the southern.
I think it's southern, definitely southern.
Is loud. And it's not just loud, it's just talking aggressively. But you're not angry, you're just talking loud.
Okay. That could intimidate some people.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. But you know, to us, it'd be like, yeah, okay, what's up?
Yeah. Like, no, that's not, they're just talking loud.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to get back to more of this chat straight after the break.
Bentornati, siete in ascolto di Radio Italiana 531, siete con Club G, io, Aaron, Clara, and Mahid and Dari.
Che?
Or Magic Lab, aka Magic Lab.
Before we went to the break, we were going to discuss your Lebanese heritage and your part of how your family was from, your upbringing. Tell us a bit about your origini.
Okay, well, I am from a village in Lebanon called Abadi. It's 16 kilometers up from Beirut. It's actually on Mount Lebanon. It's actually called Mount Lebanon, you know, if you want to believe that. Next to a town called Ale. And when I went to Lebanon for the first time after we left it as a young team, my cousin's saying, okay, we're all going to go to LA. And I was like, we're going to take a plane to LA? No, we're going to LA to town. I started to realize what it was. My upbringing, we lived in Kuwait. My father would go back and forth a lot from Lebanon to Kuwait. And, you know, My childhood started with a bit of a tragedy. When we were living in Kuwait and my father was on his way to Kuwait from Lebanon, there was an incident, nothing major, an Israeli airstrike that killed him. And that happened 3 weeks before I turned 5 in 1984. It was January 18th or January 19th of 1984 when that happened. And so that is probably what kind of shifted me from being what I thought I could have been as a child. But I kind of like, they say many children can't remember what happened when they were young, but I remember what happened when I was 4, and I especially remember what happened just before I turned 5. And I did write something about it in my teen years when I knew how to deal with my feelings. But that kind of shifted everything for me at a very young age. I started seeing everything differently. You know, I felt like I wasn't one of those kids anymore. You know, those kids that would go outside and play and whatever.
Yeah,
you know,
of course.
Right? I kind of steered away from that because, like, I was dealing with my mother, and because I was watching my mother falling apart, and there was nobody there to support my mother. She went from a housewife and loving wife to a loving mother, and taking care of the kids, to how am I going to support the kids now? Because she lost the man who was promised to take care of her forever, and so we all had to work together to get through this. So, and in terms of upbringing, when we came to Australia to escape what happened in Lebanon, of course. And Mum was working 1-2 jobs before she earned her own business. So me and my older brother would look after each other the best that we can. And whenever something bad was to happen to us in school, we would never tell our mother about it. Because why would we?
Why would you? Yeah,
we don't want to add more to what's going on. So we had to deal with the racial things that we had to go through when we were kids. We had to deal with some of the bullying that we did through it when we were kids. So me and my brother, for a while, we were like best friends until he started getting interested in girls and he forgot about me completely. Right? And so I had to kind of fend for myself. That I could always get away with it by saying, "Oh, you're Basil's brother," because okay, now don't fuck with this kid.
Leave him alone.
Just leave him alone.
Yeah.
So all I had to say was, "I'm Basil's brother." Yeah, okay, you're cool. So that's how I got away with most of the stuff that I could get away with. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Well, what is one thing that people don't? I guess list one word that describes you the best.
One word?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a tough one. One word that describes me the most.
Yeah.
Resilient. I would say.
Amazing.
Yeah, I would say resilient. Yeah.
And also, why do you love being Lebanese?
It's just so cool. I love watching white people trying to get as brown as I am. With the olive toned skin. They spend money to do that, and I'm like, this is all free, baby.
This is all free.
This is all free. This is God's gift for him to me. He didn't give me talent, but he gave me great skin. All right. The food, resilience, party. We know how to party. We are very adaptable. And we have proven that we are adaptable. They blew up our village 100 times. We rebuilt 100 times and still partied 100 times. We just go with the flow. We don't just roll with the punches. We take them and deliver a few ourselves.
Yeah.
That's how we roll. And people just when in the 80s they disliked you, but in the 90s when they discovered food, then they loved you. All right. They used to make fun of the zayt or za'atar sandwich they used to take with you to school, and then they're spending $50 on it at a restaurant for a small piece of it, and like, yeah, whatever. People ask me, "Imagine where's the best Lebanese food?" My house. That's where it is.
That's kind of like it is for, I think, the Italian culture as well.
During school, you'd go to lunch with your packed lunch. You'd have your panino, you'd have your mozzarella, you'd have your tomato.
Exactly.
Now you go to, like you said, you go to a panini shop that 20 of went up now. You're paying $20-$30 for a panino and a drink.
And we were getting it. It wasn't for free, but it was homemade.
Yeah.
Your mother made this stuff, and
it's a trend now. It's a trend now, and I feel like a lot of ethnic food is becoming a big trend now, especially if it's like a sandwich wise. I think sandwiches are becoming a big thing.
Yeah, I think the funniest thing I've ever seen was me eating a Vegemite sandwich.
When?
In school. It was like, I don't know if I forgot lunch or something like that, but I went to the cafeteria and I just bought a Vegemite sandwich and was like, Okay. Yeah, what mum makes is much better than this. Don't get me wrong. I don't dislike Vegemite. We actually incorporated Vegemite into our Lebanese breakfast. We will have it from time to time. We do like it.
Oh, really?
We were raised here.
Yeah.
So, we did develop a fondness for it. All right. But whenever I ate a Vegemite sandwich and that's all I had, I would feel so bad for the white kids. Like, that's all you having?
Is this the food
This
you
is
got?
it? This is all you
keep
got?
you full?
Nah, man. Give me 10 minutes. I can make you something much better than that. And I'll even incorporate what you got and just make it better. I'll upgrade your food. And I used to have a lot of white Aussies that would come over, and I know why they came over.
For the food.
Exactly right.
They were sick of their Vegemite sandwiches.
And especially like one of my friends, I think his name was Calvin. He was my first neighbor. Right, he would run. He would scream from our front door to his front door because we were next door. And he would, "Ma, what are we having for lunch?" And I go, "Haven't made anything yet. Maybe meatloaf." Okay. I'm eating here.
Next door.
No, I'm eating here. I'm not going
He's
there.
already there.
The
Yeah.
meatloaf sucks. So now we're eating here. All right. And he goes, "What are you having?" "Kibbe." "What's kibbe?" "It's a meat dish." "It's meat." "Okay, I'm having that." So he loved the kibbe. Yeah, and wanted to come back for seconds and thirds.
I don't think I've ever tried Lebanese food before.
Blasphemy.
Yeah, I don't think I have.
I have. It's
Yeah?
nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's nice. What was your favourite?
Oh, that's my favorite dish is called mloukhiyeh. It's a spinach dish with rice and chicken, and you mix the chicken with the spinach in like a stew. You make the rice separately, but how they marinate the chicken with the spinach is unbelievable. And they put vinegar and onions. I like to have it plain. And then they take Lebanese bread and they toast it, and you crack it into little chips, and you pour it on top of the dish. And when that sauce and the not sauce, but when the zoom, what they call the soup part of the stew that kind of makes the hard bread nice and soft, it goes down so nice and it tastes amazing. It's my favorite Lebanese.
Oh, that sounds pretty good to
It
me.
sounds
Now I'm like,
amazing.
I want to
And
try
you know
this
what?
now.
The thing is, like, it's very hard to convince children to like spinach, let alone eat it. All right, but
You got to hide it.
no, it's not that. It's not that. My mother was a genius. All right, because my favorite cartoon when I was 6, 7 years old was Popeye.
Popeye. Yeah.
All right, and she goes, "This is what Popeye eats." Really? Then I started eating it, and I loved it. It's like I made myself love it, but I still loved it without, even if she didn't tell me. I just loved it, but I was just more motivated to eat it.
Yeah, 'cause Popeye ate it.
because Popeye ate it. You got to
Yeah.
eat that stuff too, Yeah, so that's definitely my favorite Lebanese dish.
So now, which is a bit further on your upbringing, we touch with your schooling, finding your creative touch, your creative journey into getting into the arts. How did that come about?
Well, I remember when I was a kid, I really wanted to be an actor, but my mother was never around to listen to us or take us seriously or to make classes. So I started doing short stories. I used to write, and I didn't graduate high school, but I did get into uni as an adult student. And when I got my act together, I knew what I wanted to do, and that was filmmaking. So I wanted to explore my creativity through the art of film. And I fell in love with it immediately. I fell in love with filmmaking. After I graduated, it was very hard to get work, so I made a 48-minute feature called Decisive Banishment, city project on a $300 budget. But when I uploaded it, 3 months later, I get a call from a TV station in Bahrain saying, "We want somebody like you to work with us." I'm like, cool.
From Bahrain? From
Yeah.
Brazil? Oh, wow.
I couldn't get work anywhere here in Australia, and I tried, and I really, really tried. I made one simple film, and I get a call a few months after I published that film, and 4 months after that phone call, they flew me to Bahrain.
Wow.
Where did you publish it? Obviously.
No, just I put it on my YouTube.
Oh, so it was YouTube?
Yeah, I put it on my YouTube, and there was I forgot the name of the site, but there was a site where they would accept amateur stuff. You could post amateur stuff.
Yep.
It was, I'm sure that website expired by now. It doesn't exist no more. But I don't know how they found it, but they found it. And they wanted somebody that knew how production worked from beginning to the end, And so they hired me as a promo producer, where my job was to take a TV show or a series of TV shows or a movie or a documentary and select the best clip to make a 30-second to a 45-second commercial about that topic.
Oh, wow.
That was my job. All right, I'll bring popcorn to work with me. I'll sit down. What am I moving?
Yeah.
And my first movie, one of the first projects they gave me to promote was Pulp Fiction. And I was like, damn, give me a crappy movie because I can take crap and turn it into gold.
Yeah.
You're giving me gold. Now I have to shine it to make it look shiny. All right, so it was very hard. That was very challenging. But I think they did that for a reason, to see how far I could take it. But it was good, and it was a fantastic experience, and probably one of the best jobs I ever had.
How does a process like that, like doing that, what is a day in the life of you doing that? Like
Oh, it's
How
awesome.
How does that process work?
You know, for a long time I was asking myself, Mum, how are these white people not doing anything and making lots of money? And I finally realized how it was, you know, because I felt like a white guy in Bahrain. I felt like that's what I'm supposed to be doing here, but I was doing there. I'll go to work, and my senior promo producer will give me 2 projects. You got one on Monday that's delivered on Tuesday, then you start on Wednesday to finish the one on Friday. No worries. And, okay, what are the projects? And the first one, Dreamgirls. Okay, cool, I get to watch Dreamgirls. And the next one, you get to watch Burn Notice. I want you to watch the first season, or at least a few episodes of the first season, make a promo out of that. All right, cool. So I'll sit down. My first day is just watching and selecting the clips that I want to use, and I'm writing the script as I'm doing it. What script am I going to use? What music am I going to use? What song am I going to use that would go well with all this together?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then I put all that together, and once the promo is finished, I send it to the audio, and then we start putting sound effects to it, or whatever it is to be on there. And so that was great. And I did so well, they put me in charge of a channel called Cinema City, where they had the family movies. So I wrote a theme song, not AI, HI, okay? I used HI. I wrote a theme song based on children's programming, which won me a PROMAX Arabia Award for that. So because I got to do more creative stuff from then on. Once I knew the basics of how things worked, I started really getting insanely creative. You know, I said, you know what? I don't want to use music. I want to create my own. I want to record my own. I want to do sound effects as well. And they were looking at me like I was nuts.
I'm a madman.
All right? Yeah, they were, because I was. Nobody in Bahrain did this. All right? So once the product was finished, and I got the go-ahead and it was finished, because my senior promo, he gave me the go-ahead. Yeah, this is good. Nobody's done this. I did it. It shocked the owners of the station. And they entered it into a competition for TV. I was up against Al Jazeera. I was up against Al Rayyan. I was up against the MSNBC. You know, we were Orbit. We were known as Orbit. I was up against Showtime, but Orbit merged with Showtime later, and I beat them all with that one.
How incredible is that?
And I beat them twice. You know, 'cause I did 2 years running.
Twice.
You know, so that felt really, really good. Yeah. And I got the trophies. I got to take them. Yeah, I got them. Yeah. If you watch my podcast, they're actually in the background. They're 2 golden statues doing this. You know, they're not praising me. I put them against each other, like they're praising themselves. You know, so yeah.
All right, I would like to get back to more of listening about your journey straight after the break. And welcome back to Club G. I am sitting here with Aaron, another Club G host. And, of course, the Magic Lab is on with us. So we were just chatting a bit about your journey when you were approached to go overseas. You were also saying to us before that you had 2 days to go.
Yeah. They called me saying, would you like a job? I said, sure. Okay, no problem. We'll get in touch. They got back in touch with me like 6-7 months later and said, we got you a ticket. You're leaving in 2 days. Like, okay, wow. And, you know...
and you were engaged at the time too.
No, I wasn't. I was seeing somebody at the time. And when I told her that I had to leave, and I didn't want to leave because things were going so well, I did the one silly thing that men should always try to avoid to do, and that's being extra romantic, and I asked her to marry me. And the thing is, it wasn't one of those typical ones where you get down on one knee and show the ring, because I didn't have a ring. It was just like a very casual, like, business arrangement conversation. Babe, I'm leaving in like 2 days. He goes, yeah. Do you want to get married? Yeah, okay, that'd be good. All right, cool, sweet. So are we engaged? I think so. We can start telling people. So that's how it was. And we worked out well at the beginning, you know, and we did last 14 years, so we beat the odds, you know, because people were putting pool on us. Yeah, they're not going to last 6 months, you know. And when I heard that, I stayed married out of spite. No. But, you know, but they say when it rains, it pours, and it definitely rained. It was like a tsunami hit. So I took the job. And I said to her, listen, I got to go. I can't take it with me. Let me get settled. Let me feel the way it is. 9 months later, they gave me a vacation, went back, got married, and brought her with me. And then we started our lives in Bahrain together.
How long were you there for?
16 years.
16?
Yeah, I was in Bahrain for 16 years. Yeah. Yep. From 2008 to 2024.
So what brought you back here?
Wow, so you just recently got back.
Yeah.
So what brought you back here then?
It wasn't my choice. Things started getting bad in Bahrain, the whole COVID thing. But, you know, I did take an 18-month hiatus, and I lived in Qatar for 18 months working for Al Jazeera there, and Al Rayyan, another government channel, pre-World Cup that they had over there, which was very exciting to be. But, you know, things didn't go as well as I wanted them to go. And, you know, our marriage was falling apart. and couldn't afford my son's schooling there. And my wife and I made an agreement, whoever goes back to Australia, the child has to go back with whoever goes back to Australia.
Yeah.
She didn't want to go back. I didn't want to come back. But, you know, this is what sucks about being a man. We are responsible, you know? So I said, you know what, I'm buying the bullet, and packed up everything, brought my son with me, and he and I have been here in Australia now for just over 2 years.
There you go.
Yeah, relearning everything here again.
Getting used to the culture again.
Culture? I don't know if that's the right word to use.
Way of life, maybe.
Getting used to the situation of how it is here, I would say. You know,
yeah.
I mean, like, because Australia's always been cultural, you know? Like, you know, you've always got people from all places, you know, wherever you go in Australia. You know, it's like you don't have to go to India if you live in Bahrain, because there are Indians everywhere. You know, it's like that. You know, there's a little India in Bahrain, so it's like actually going to India, because it's you know.
Oh wow!
You know, it's great.
Even in Bahrain,
Yeah, dude, it's they're everywhere, and even Filipinos, large population of Filipinos in the Gulf. So you get to experience and learn those cultures. You know, like when I caught a cab here, I almost talked to the white guy in Hindi. You know, because I talk in Hindi, in, like, you know, when I caught a cab in Bahrain. So it's like an adjustment, you know, just a slight adjustment. It's like relearning what you already knew but forgot all about for a while. You know, so yeah, that's how it was. You know, there's a big journey in Bahrain.
Yeah, of course. And you've done movies, and you also said you touched in news promos too. What's like differencing?
News promos are very hard to pull off, because the news, in many occasions, is boring. News is boring, especially if you're a kid who's got cable and you've got the news channel, you're not going to watch the news channel,
exactly.
right? But sadly, we have to make promos that come up on the channel that they are watching.
Yeah.
So if they're watching something like a children's channel or a movie channel, the promo that we make happens during those commercials on those channels.
Yep.
So when we make promos for news channels, you have to really think outside the box. It's not about making it entertaining, it's about making it exciting. Because, you know, news can be exciting. You know, we don't want to talk about always the tragic stuff of happening, like, you know, the deaths or whatever. You know, you want to add some other stuff to it that can make it, I don't know, taboo. You know, when you make things taboo, people want to know more about that taboo topic.
Yeah, of course.
So, you know, like, you can't do that with movies. With movies, it's self-explanatory. You know, if they know who's in it, they watch it just because of the actor alone. It sells itself. But when you can make it extra special, you know, that's where the challenge, that's where the fun is. You don't get to feel that kind of fun when it comes to doing a promo for a news channel. You know, so it's still exciting to work on it, but it's just a bit more challenging. And thank God I only did it for a few months, and they said, listen, Majid, you can do news or children. Give me the children. I'll do children. I'll watch toddler stuff. I will watch Mickey Mouse's Playhouse. I'd rather watch that than Rachel Ray or whatever her name was. You know, give me Mickey Mouse. So I started doing Disney stuff, and that was even more fun. So yeah,
that would have been great.
Yeah.
What's your favorite, I guess you could say, project that you've worked on film-wise?
Favorite project? Oh God, that's a tough one. In television or in general?
Yeah, just in general.
Oh, God. Well, I guess Gesundheit. I guess what I liked my first project, the film that I made, because it was my first experience actually doing a project. And I did everything from scratch. I wrote the script. I bought a camera. I had a very dull life in university. I used to go to uni and I used to work the graveyard shift at Caltex. So to save money, bought a camera, got my own computer, got my friends, got people to be in the thing, got the location, got the props, got the makeup, got everything on a $300+ budget. But the experience of making that film, I learned so much. I learned more making that film than I did in my 3 years of uni learning about film. That real hands-on experience. And that opened doors for me. That film, that 48-minute film, opened doors for me. And that led me to even bigger, more exciting project. But I think that film was definitely my first and most important project. It got me off the ground.
Kind of sparked curiosity and kind of threw you out there.
What made me
like sparked your curiosity and kind of like threw you out and really dragged you into the world of like filmmaking?
Wow, you know, when I was a kid, I wanted to be an actor because I used to love movies. I used to memorize movies.
Well,
as
that
a kid.
helps. You didn't even know.
Yeah. Like I memorized from the first line to the last line of the following movies: Weird Science, Ghost, Interview with the Vampire, and Pulp Fiction. Because I had watched them so many times, I would memorize the entire film from the beginning to the end. Oh, and Coming to America.
Good, all good.
You know, Coming to America.
Interview with the Vampire was a good one
so,
too.
Yeah, so I was obsessed. And what got me into the filmmaking part of it is like, I felt like the chance for me to be an actor was past. Because I had all this passion when I was a kid to want to be an actor. And I was in plays in school, and I did really well in plays in school. But, you know, I'm sure I could have gone further, but I wasn't thinking about that. As a kid, you don't think about that kind of stuff. So when you get older, you kind of forget about that. And when I got to an age where I wanted to know what I wanted to do with my life, I steered towards filmmaking. I let me be behind the camera instead of in front of the camera.
Yeah.
And see what I can do from that on, you know, get that point of view.
Before we get to chat a bit more about the acting side of things, so I just want to know a little bit about, because obviously you're really passionate about film and filmmaking. You've set up your own business, Fame Film Agency.
Yeah.
Can you chat to the audience a bit about what it is that you do? So you do a lot of events. Is that so?
Well, yeah. I started Fame Film Agency in Bahrain, and I started it out of spite because I was working with this company that let me go after I saved them from bankruptcy twice. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to, you know, as vengeance, you know how I told you I get angry. See, I should have just done what my brother did. I should have knocked him out. I should have just punched the guy, all right, and get it over and done with. No, what did I do? I created my own company and stole a few of his clients. And what he doesn't know, if he's listening, which he won't, what he did not know, I had no equipment, I had no camera, I had no computer, but I started a company. Yeah. But you know what I did? My friend was still working there, so I borrowed all their equipment without the guy knowing. I did all the videos for the clients that belonged to him with his own equipment.
That's even better.
Right, that was diabolical, right? But I had a few friends in other companies that I worked with that would let me use their computers for editing.
Yeah.
All right. So I used my ex-boss's cameras and all of his stuff that he had.
Yeah.
And I used my friends' computers to put all these edits together. And that's how Fame Film Agency became to be. And then when I started making enough money, I started having some of my own equipment, and it just grew from there in Bahrain. And now that I'm here in Australia, now it's legitimate. I didn't need a work number, an ABN number in Bahrain. I just needed a name and a logo. Here you need an ABN tax file.
It's different over there.
No. You can do a business like that, but you're supposed to still register.
Yeah.
I couldn't get big clients if you didn't have a registry number.
Yeah, of course.
But I can get small clients, and the crumbs feed you just well enough. You know,
you get enough small clients together.
Hotels, restaurants, they would get you. But if you wanted something corporate, you needed a bigger name.
Yeah, okay.
Or be part of a bigger name. But I had friends that owned companies, so I would put it under their number.
Oh.
You know, and we will share the profit. I give them like 15-20%, and we'll share the profits. I used to build people under other people's names, all right, to make it legit. So there was I had to do a lot of resourcing, you know, in that, all because I should have just punched the guy out. But I just did that instead.
Turned you into making a company now.
I did a company instead. All right, and people started talking about Fame. And I actually wrote a diss song about my previous company.
Yeah.
All right, that I really wanted to release. But I never did. But I had all the lyrics to it, and it was like, I really want to get him back. But, you know, I believe in karma. And, you know, just don't do nothing. And you'd be surprised what can happen if you just don't do anything. Just let it work out itself.
Yeah.
And, yeah, so I think I actually got better in that way with my career and what I'm doing than I was working for him, you know, because I really wanted to be partners with him. But he wouldn't want that. And even when I brought him clients, he wouldn't want that. I saved him from bankruptcy twice. He wouldn't want that. But I felt like, my God, I'm back in Australia again because my boss was a New Zealander. And a few months after he let me go, he was going bankrupt, but he found a sponsor that would, you know,
bail him out,
bail him out.
Yeah.
And so he survived on that for a while. I don't know how they're doing now.
Yeah, right. Well, I'd like to get back to more of our chat straight after the break. And welcome back to Club G. You are sitting with me, Clara, your host, and Aaron. And we are sitting with our special guest, Magic Lab, on with us. So we were just chatting a bit about I guess, how your company, Fame Film Agency, came about. And then also now we just want to know the fact that, you still own this company and that it's based in Adelaide. Can you tell us a bit about what you're doing with that in Adelaide at the moment?
Well, I'm just trying to basically I'm basically offering videography services and photography services to businesses that need it. Events, corporate, commercial, anniversaries, birthdays, weddings, that kind of thing. This is basically my bread and butter on how I make a living. I know there are many production companies out here, and to try to separate from the rest, the first thing I do is I have international experience as well, so I like to, I put feeling to every project that I do, If somebody asks me to take pictures, I'm not just taking random pictures. Every picture I take does have a meaning towards it, especially when I put it in a show reel video for them. Because I don't want to sell them a product, I want to sell them a memory. I want to sell them something they can look at and really feel with it, be happy with it. And I think all production companies strive to do that. And I am definitely doing that. So
would you say that that's what makes you very different to other production companies out there at the moment?
Yeah, and the pricing.
Yeah.
Some of the prices that I've seen here are a lot more expensive than most people can afford. Mm-hmm. And I feel that it shouldn't have to be that much. It shouldn't have to be that expensive. There's making a living, and then there's taking advantage of people who want something, and you want repeated business. No one's going to talk about, I made this much money, than they are, see how happy I made that person, and that's what I'm about more than about money. Money comes and goes. I've had money and I've lost money and I'm still here and I'm still happy. All right. But it's all about making other people happy. You want them to use you because they know that you're going to put in that effort, and like if you go to a pizza place, the owner of the pizza place is so proud to make it that pizza, right? You can go to Domino's and get it from the microwave and eat it, whatever. You got your money's worth. But if you go to an authentic pizza place and everything is done from scratch and with love, you're going to go back to that pizza place time and time again. And that's what I'm trying to do with my business.
So you're like a one-person business. You don't have like an assistant or anything?
No. My son's in training, 13 years old. I'm getting him to the family business. He used to be my little helper in Bahrain. Because I used to, we didn't have enough money for babysitters, I'd take him with me to my job. And whenever I say, okay, everybody quiet down, he would yell, everybody quiet down. Everybody, right? We're going to call action soon. We're going to call action soon. He would repeat everything I say. It was very cute. He was 7, 8 years old at the time. And I used to give him my little handy cam that I never used. So he would use that to film. Maybe spark some, maybe I've got a Scorsese in the family that I don't know about, you know what I mean? All right, no, I don't. I don't. It is a sole trader business. I do everything on my own.
Yeah. Would you like to see it expand in the next 5 years?
I'd still like to be here in the next 5 years. Absolutely. I mean, we all like to thrive. I would like to reach a level where I'm doing a business well enough that I need a staff that would be very helpful. Everybody aspires to want to achieve something like that, especially when they're going into business.
For sure. Well, now that we've chatted a bit about your business, we'd like to move on to talking about another project of yours called the Magic Hour podcast. So that's a podcast of yours.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about your podcast? How did it begin and what it's all about?
It began because I couldn't find a job. That's how it truly began. All right. It's funny because when I was living here, they said, you don't have enough experience. Go get experience. So I went and got almost 20 worth of experience. Now you're too old. We need the young ones. I don't know whether to draw the level. Just say you don't like me. I'll be more respectful of that. So I did a podcast because I was bored and I didn't have work to do. So I created something. I didn't know what the podcast was going to be. I didn't know what it was going to be about. I didn't know what direction it was going. I was winging it at the beginning, which is not the most wise thing to do. But another reason why I did it was because I was angry with what's been going on in the conflict. That's not conflict is the wrong word to use. What's going on in the Middle East? It's not a conflict. It's the genocide. And it was pissing me off. I was angry about it. And again, I didn't have anybody to punch. So I started going to rallies, seeing the activists doing their thing. And, I want to talk to these people. I want to talk to some of these people. So I had them on my show. And I wanted to get more. But even the ones that were very loyal to the activism were afraid to talk about it because their jobs became in jeopardy. They put a target on their back. They were saying to me, Magic, can you delete the podcast that we did? Or Magic, can you silence it? Or can you do it just for a while? And it's like, you know what? If I can't get people brave enough to... I understand them. I didn't feel bad when they asked that because I understand the situation they were in. But me, I'm fearless. Why? Because I don't have a job. I got nothing to lose. I don't have anything that I can lose. But that doesn't mean that I haven't jeopardized myself. Because I did get offered one job. And when that person who offered me the job saw me at a rally, he sent me an email saying, we can't hire you because you are a pro-Palestinian supporter. And I was like shocked to hear that. So I knew I was doomed. So that gave me more motivation to work more on my podcast until I found a direction. And that direction was comedy. Because I was doing part of the comedy community here in Adelaide, doing some stand-up. Got to meet some local comedians. I said, you know what? Let's lay off the political thing for a while. Let's have some fun. When I started with the interviewing comedians, I was getting a guest every week, sometimes 2, 3 per week. When I was doing the other one, I was getting a guest once a month. It wasn't consistent.
Yeah.
All right, so the Magic Hour finally found its voice and found a direction. And the only thing I don't regret it, but I wish I probably chose a different name for my podcast. But because I was always known as Magic and Magic Lab, I figured it was an appropriate title. But when I looked up on the internet, there are 10,000 podcasts all named The Magic Hour.
Oh.
There were so many. And I was like, damn, I picked the wrong name. So I don't know why they called it The Magic Hour, unless their name is Magic as well, or whatever. But it made me think, you know what, maybe I should have done more research on it before choosing a name. Maybe if you're going to choose a name, look it up first, see how many people have got it. Yeah. I didn't do that. But I had already passed my first year. I'm not going to change it now, This is The Magic Hour in Adelaide, at least, I own that name here. And it's been talked about, so I've been very privileged to go this long so far with it. And we just started our 3rd season.
So how do you get guests onto your podcast? What's the process in that?
Well, when I put the ad out that I've got a podcast happening, only one person responded, and that was George Kapniaris.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
We had him on the show.
Because I met George at a club. He was doing a show, and I went to go see a friend, but to see him do the show, I had no idea George was going to be there. So the person that I went to go see introduced me to George, and we had a few words, and it was very, very, very pleasant meeting. It's very great when you can make somebody that you like laugh within the first 30 seconds of meeting them. So I know that I made an impact. And he followed me on Instagram. So when he saw that ad, he said, Majid, when I come to Adelaide, I'm going to be on your show. 1 year and 6 months later, he was on the show.
I think that's great.
Yeah. And he brought with him James Leota because they were doing their Nuna and Yaya together.
Yeah.
So I wasn't ready for that because I only had 2 mics. Yeah. So when a third person, I had to buy another mic and another stand, and I had to test it out. Yeah. And my podcast wasn't malfunctioned because I was trying to reset it, and they were 24 hours away from being here. I was in a panic, but when I got it all together, it finally worked, and it was the longest podcast I ever had, a running time of 1 hour and 53 minutes.
And how long are usually your podcasts going?
1 hour. It's the magic hour. It goes up to an hour.
That makes sense.
It's anywhere between 45 minutes to an hour and 10, maybe hour 15, if the conversation is juicy and it's going somewhere. But with George and James, it could have been 4 hours and felt like half. We had so much to talk about, and we didn't cover everything. I didn't even cover everything. And what really pissed me off the most is after the podcast was over, we talked about Russell Crowe and his experience with Russell Crowe. That didn't make it into the podcast. I was like, come on, because Russell Crowe was in an episode of Acropolis Now.
Yes, he was Danny O'Brien.
That's right.
Yeah. The only skip that played for Brick Team.
Yeah.
How do you come up with, the questions that you ask each person on your show?
I stalk them.
I like what you do.
I hire a private investigator. No, I research them the best that I can. And if I'm lucky enough to know somebody that knows them personally, they can share anecdotes and stories that hasn't been released to the public.
Yeah.
And I like to spring that on them.
As a surprise them.
Surprise them. I did that with Joe Avati.
Yeah.
When I had Joe Avati on the show, I did that. And I only got Joe Avati because I had James and George. So I got all the J and G families. All right. Because Joe made a comment on a video that I made with George after one of his shows. and he referenced that I looked like somebody. I forgot the name of the person that I looked like. But he commented on my channel. So it's like when you see a girl that you like and you get her number, you don't call her right away.
No, you let it go.
You don't call her right away. Right? No. You have to wait at least a week before you call her.
That's right.
So I waited at least a week after he made that comment that I sent him an invite to be on my show.
Yeah.
And he said, you know what? I'm going to be in Adelaide soon. I'll give you a call when I'm there. I'll send you a message. And that's how it happened.
Oh, wow.
You know, from James and George to Joe to not Joe White, who I keep changing the name. Talahun is the real name. Joe White, comedian, part of the Comedy Cartel. To Frank Latito, Hollywood movie director, Italian-Australian Hollywood movie director. And my recent guest, Frankie Marcos, from San Jose. He's a Mexipino, half Mexican, half Filipino.
Oh, wow. So you've got kind of guests of all abroad kind of thing.
Yeah. So through no fault of my own, I was leaning away from talking to the local Adelaide comedians and talking to bigger names.
Yeah.
You know, and it was totally by accident. You know, that wasn't my goal to steer that way. I was kind of like
Just
lured
kind of,
there.
yeah,
You know, and I just
way.
went with it. And I'm not saying that I'm now too good for the local Adelaide comedians. Leave me alone. No. It's not that. It's just that I'm so happy that my podcast got to the point where it's attracting others. Because now that I'm in season 3, I introduced a new character. He's an Arab man from a fictitious place called Sultanabad, and his name is In Sultan. And I wrote a theme song, and I'm making the AI video. And when I released a 15-second teaser of that character, I get a message from Mary Costas, who played Effie in Metropolis Now. And she goes, when I come to Adelaide, I'm going to see you, Majid. That was her message. Because she liked that In Sultan bit.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't ask, I did send her an invite a long time ago, but she never responded. But when she saw this, she responded immediately. And I was like, that's good. And a miracle happened to me last night. Last night, a miracle happened to me, guys.
I would love to know.
A week ago, I found out that Bassem Youssef is coming to Adelaide, and I bought a ticket. And I found out who was in charge of the itinerary and everything like that. And I requested to have him on my show podcast. It's a long shot, so I did it anyway. And last night, I get an email from one of his people who sent me a form saying, please fill this out. It's a long, detailed form of what the podcast is about, what questions you're going to ask, all that kind of stuff, and send us some links.
Oh, wow, so you got it.
Right? I know. No, I didn't get it. I just filled out the form, and I sent it back. But the thing is, they responded to my invite.
Yeah.
Oh. They responded to the invite of Bassem Youssef.
It's a positive.
It's a positive. Yeah. They could have just said, no, he's not doing it.
It's got some sort of interest.
I tried getting Kitty Flanagan, and the agent said, "Oh, she's not going to do it." Like right away, just like a direct no.
Yeah,
you know. And you know, I'm used to rejection. You know, I used to ask her that all the time. Quick no, I'm happy with that. Move on to the next one. This one was okay. Fill out this form. Like, damn,
so it's a step in the right direction.
Yeah. See, I can always count on my Arab brothers and sisters, man. You know, and now the thing is, I'm freaked out because if he says yes, I'm feeling I'm in way over my head here.
You've just
because I'm going to be if this does come to life, I'm going to be talking to a man who sat down with Jon Stewart, who sat down with Jimmy Kimmel, who sat down with Stephen Colbert, who sat down with real freaking people that know how to talk about these kinds of subjects professionally. And now he's going to talk to Majid and Derry. It's like, damn, you know, like I'm happy at the same time I'm terrified because if this doesn't go well, and I don't know. It's like I feel like very intimidated because he's up there, and I'm not up there. You know, I don't want to say I'm down here. He's up there, and I'm in a different room. All right, like I've only seen this guy behind the screen. You know, so it's very intimidating, and I'm very scared if this does come to happen. But I'll work up the courage to do it because the one thing that I do have in my arsenal that would work is the food.
That's what you could bring.
I'm going to bring a buffet for Bassem Youssef and his entourage. So if the interview sucks, he'll enjoy the cuisines.
They'll get fed well.
You know?
Will you make it yourself?
Oh, hell no. No, it needs to be made by a nonna or yaya or a sister or a mother, you know. My mum's going to make this food. You know, I will assist. but she's making it. And she even said, she even said to me, if he does come magic, I'll make a barbecue for him. All right, cool, man. Whatever.
Make what you want.
Whatever. If he comes here and I'm going to invite, no, you're not inviting anybody. No one is coming. No one can know he's here. You know, 'cause I got to protect the man's privacy. I got to protect his professionalism. You know, because no, it's going to be just us and my assistant. Assistant meaning I need somebody to push the record button every 30 minutes on my camera.
That was the question that you were asking me on Instagram. So is there going to be somebody there to press record every 30 minutes?
Yeah, unfortunately I got one of those Sony cameras that stops after 30 minutes. So I stop it at 25 and then press it again. I don't let it go to 30 just in case it starts to think for itself and cut off early, you know. Because you know how much people hate things that happen premature. Don't want that to happen on my camera. So make sure we press the right button so it can continue to go longer.
What's your favorite experience or was there someone that you found very inspirational on any of your podcasts?
Frank Latito.
Yeah.
He told me a story about how he underwent heart surgery. And before that, he had written some stories, some scripts. And when he found out about what was going on, he put all that aside, forgot about it completely. And, you know, I think nothing wakes you up than the notion that you could possibly die. And when he recovered and he found that script, that heart attack that he had, that surgery that he had that led him to do this, look at him today, you know? I mean, would that have happened if he didn't go through that? I don't think so. So that's very inspirational that he took something that was life-threatening and he gave us a play. He gave us the Italian Divorce. Hilarious.
I saw that you went to that. What did you think of it?
It was hilarious.
Yeah.
It was non-stop comedy from the first opening scene to the last.
Yeah.
You know, there weren't breaks in between where you weren't laughing. You're like that's so hard to do.
Yeah.
And he achieved that to perfection. And for him to go in depth with me on the podcast to tell me about all of this, I'm very grateful to Frank. And Frank gave me the go-ahead to make sure In Sultan comes to life, because I didn't do In Sultan on my first episode of season 3 like I promised to do. But I told him about it, and then I said, I'll give you a sample. So I gave him a sample of the character, and then after I gave him a sample of the character, he said, Majid, you have to do this character. So I did that with Frankie Marcos. And on Friday, I have Anthony Lacasio, if I've forgotten, I don't know his second name, but he's another comedian that's going to be on the podcast this Friday. So
how exciting.
In Sultan will make another appearance, yeah.
Oh, wow. So you've really you're just up and running and on, it's really like traction.
Well, the thing is, I'm trying to outdo myself with every season.
Of course.
The first season, it was a very rocky start.
Because you're figuring things out.
But,
of course.
But halfway through, it took off.
Yeah.
And the second season, like a freaking rocket, it wouldn't stop. I did 24 episodes.
Wow.
Like in a very short time, you know. And I did 20 plus episodes in the first season, but it took a year and a half.
Yeah.
The second season, I did 24 episodes within 4 months.
Wow.
It just kept on one
Crazy.
after the other, you know. And I wasn't supposed to start season 3 until September, but Frank Latito came calling. I'm not gonna say
No.
would that come back in September? No. Took him right away.
Yeah, of course.
So we season 3 started a little prematurely, but there's gonna be breaks in between because I'm not fully committed to having guests. I like to wait just before the fringe, and get everybody one at a time, so to stay consistent. So right now it's just I'm the magic hour is. I'm going to come with surprise episodes here and there, and enjoy them. But they're episodes with big names. They're not just typical local people. They're ones that have actually, you know, the majority of people they've achieved something. They're accolades, you know.
Yeah.
So that really helps to sponsor the show in a very big way.
Yeah, of course, and gives you obviously more and builds anticipation. Builds anticipation.
That's correct. And with all these guests, I made a little AI song as a promo to promote these guests. They are AI worthy. Yeah.
I would like to go back to that topic straight after the break
Sure.
because I know there's a video that you use that on because I went to go see the show Nona and Yaya. So I'd like to have a bit of a chat on how that video came about.
Okay.
And welcome back to Club G. You're sitting with me, Clara, and Aaron, your host of the night. And we have our special guest is still with us, Magic Lab. So we were just chatting a bit about your podcast before and all the guests that you've had on, and, you know, how there was a particular person that was also an inspiration to you as well. And then also you're chatting a little bit about AI and the music of AI, I guess you could say. Now, I know that you use, so for example, we met at Nora and Yaya down at the Sicilian Club.
Yeah.
And that's how I discovered you. And I thought it was pretty cool also that you were there, considering you were Lebanese, but you're also supporting the Italian culture while you were there too, in a way. Yeah. And you were asking a lot of questions about what do you think about the show, you know, and asking a lot of how do you relate, you know, to to the jokes, I guess, that they were saying in the show. And I just want to know, like, and straight after that, then I saw like a video pop up on your Instagram, and obviously me and my sister were in it, but you had a song that played in the beginning, which was obviously AI.
Yep.
And then obviously you're telling us off air the fact that you do that kind of stuff as well.
I normally try to stay away from AI, but the first time I used it was for Frank Latito as a guest, because he's such a big name. And he's, you know, the guy who directed films. So, I've done intros with other big names before, but with Frank, I did something different because I wanted to try it. And I really liked it. And since I filmed the Vox Pops for Nuna and Yaya that night, I figured, you know what? I'm 2 for 2. Let me do it again. You know, let's see how good it was. Let's see if it's going to be as good as the first one. And it was just fun. You know, I mean, like, why get a generic music where most likely it's going to be copyright infringement and you can't really use it and it'll mute your video? Or I could get a generic music. I can pay for a copyright music and use that too. But no, let's do something fun. So I did something fun. And you saying that I was the Lebanese person at the show, I was the only Lebanese person at that show. Because if you notice when George...
one other person that was there. She was a female.
George said, where are the Italians at? Then you hear the Italians. Where are the Greeks at? You hear the Greeks. Where are the Lebanese at? I was the only one that made the sound like a mouse. You know? Right? And it's like, so I support y'all. Where are you going to come and support me? You know? But that was fun. Yeah. So that was a good night.
Oh, there you go. Well, now we're talking about the topic of comedy.
Yeah.
And so I want to know, in terms of the sketches that you do on your social media, can you chat through how you come up with the ideas and how you bring your content to life?
Well, when I was doing stand-up comedy in Bahrain, but in Bahrain at the time, it was like a season. You only do it for a couple of months and then everything will close. There's no comedy spots. And I had a lot of material, so I said, you know what, I want to do something. So I decided to get into sketches. And I loved the Chappelle Show. And of course, I'm nowhere near as good as Dave Chappelle, but did he not inspire me to do my own sketches, especially when I had access to Americans from the Navy base in Bahrain. And I had access to Black Americans, which was even better. You know, and so I started writing controversial sketches, race-related sketches, gender-related sketches. And I spoke to one of my friends and said, listen, this is what I got. And he introduced me to another friend. I actually bumped into another guy who was going into a New Year's Eve party as I was leaving. And he was expressing about acting. He wants to do acting. I said, dude, you want to do acting? I'm writing a sketch right now. And he goes, okay, send me the script. So I sent him the script. And it was very, very controversial in terms of race, because the entire sketch was called, the name of the sketch was supposed to be naming the band. Naming the team. But I changed it to I swear I'm not a racist, so I can get clickbait. Right? Now, and it had all these racial words that were in it, but when he read the script, he said, dude, can we film this like yesterday? I want to do this so badly. Yeah. So we did it, and that was my very first sketch that I ever did, and it hit 7,000 hits on YouTube, mainly because of the Navy-based people who knew all about it. And after 5-6 more sketches, I get a call from a woman named Muna who has a magazine called Life Along the Nile magazine. She lived in Egypt, but she's Chicago-based, and she said to me, she gave me information I didn't know about. You're famous in Chicago. How?
Oh what? Wow.
I don't even remember clicking Chicago.
I've never been to Chicago.
All right, how the hell did I get famous in Chicago? She goes, you're not famous, but people are watching you in Chicago, and they've talked about the I swear I'm not a racist. And I had to explain to her, that's not really the original title, but that's what I had to do. And they liked the sketch. So, and I was like blown away. Oh, wow, I'm living in Bahrain, rejected from Australia, but loved in Chicago. So that felt really cool. And after I did that first sketch, I became an addict. I started writing more and more and more. I did one called Angry Black Man. Then I did one called Angry Arab. I couldn't do one called Angry Jew because there's nothing for them to be angry about. So I did something different with a different title. All right, I called it Jews and Taxes. All right, and that picked up big time as well. All right, but the thing is, when I did that one about the Jewish person, I spoke to lawyers in Bahrain first before releasing the sketch.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just in case. Because if anybody's going to complain,
it's going
to be them.
Yeah.
All right? But the thing is, I even went on Jewish sites and I invited, and I sent the video to Jewish channels.
Yeah.
And all these Jewish were saying, this is hilarious, we love it, it's great, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
All right? And so one of them just said, as long as you don't make fun of the Holocaust, and we're all good. I was okay, cool, so I can make fun of anything else. Yeah, do it. So I did. And they were cool with it. But the reason why I got in touch with lawyers was because there was a man, I forgot his name, but he's very important. And he owns a bank in Bahrain, and he is Jewish. And he got an American person deported from Bahrain because he didn't like the way he was expressing himself about certain topics.
Yeah, right.
So I was like,
wow.
oh shit, I got to talk to this guy.
Clear the waters first.
But you know what? I don't want to talk to this guy. If he sees it, he sees it. So you know what I did? I had myself an ace in the hole. The person I got to play, the Jewish person, was Jewish himself.
Okay.
All right?
So that makes it,
Right? So at the beginning of the sketch, right, we had a little intro before the sketch appeared.
Yeah.
He goes, hi, this is Scott. He's a Jew. He goes, this is Majid. He's an Arab. All right? So we talked about that at the beginning of the sketch. All right? And then the sketch happened and nobody complained because they had no reason to.
That's right. Yeah.
So I protected myself with this sketch by doing that to not get the blows. I can make fun of black people and Arabs all I want, and I know I'm not going to get anything from, no hate from anyone.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
But with this one, I only did it one time. And it was funny, but I didn't want to go through all of that every time.
For sure.
Yeah.
Push the waters a bit more.
But I wanted them, they say they want to be included, so I included them. You got roasted.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I'm going to roast everybody. Everybody's going to have their turn.
Roasted equally.
Yeah, exactly right, but I was very smart about it. I wasn't attacking anybody. I wasn't attacking anybody's way of life. I was just putting that person's life in an awkward situation and see how it turns out.
Exactly.
And I did one called Which is which is a sketch where I play a character about to meet 3 women. And my business partner is telling me, all right, they're going to be a client, all right, but one of them's a transgender, don't make a big deal out of it. All right, no worries, man. All right, and then, which one is it? Oh, you figure it out. And I couldn't figure it out. My character couldn't figure it out because each one of these ladies is hotter than the next.
Yeah,
so
which is which. Yeah.
so that was the premise of the comedy. I couldn't tell which one they were, so I started asking them questions that only guys would know the answers to. Right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? To try to lure the one out, and I couldn't get it. All right, and I get frustrated and then leave, and then at the end, the audience knows who it was, but the person trying to figure out didn't know who it was.
Oh, that's cool. That's funny.
Which is why it's called
funny.
Which is Which.
Yeah, yeah.
And the way the audience knows how it was they look at one of the girls and goes, Missy, how do you do your voice so well? Oh, it's not easy, trust me. And then she starts talking to her as a girl again, because you were talking like a female. Then she went to like a James Earl Jones type
deep,
thing.
deep, yeah.
Right? So that's how that ended up. And I didn't hurt the community. They thought it was hilarious. So it's just how you structure it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did 30 within my first year. I did 30 sketches in a year.
Wow.
I did 50 altogether. Since I've been back in Australia, I've done like maybe 4 or 5 sketches in 2 years when I was pulling 1 or 2 a week in Bahrain.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Is that something that you want to keep trying to push as much as you can here, or
The thing is, people in Adelaide are very cautious. They're very careful. They're very afraid.
Yeah.
And my Australian friend in Australia was in Bahrain was telling me, you're not going to be able to do sketches there. Oh, come on, man. They're fearless. I was raised in Australia. They can do this stuff.
Oh, no.
He said to me, no, they've changed. No, Australia doesn't change. Once they're racist, they say racist. And he goes, no, they're racist. They're just more quiet about it. Oh, come on. They're still going to do it. So I came here and said, oh, my God, he's right. Everybody is a scaredy cat. They're afraid to say anything or do anything. And I was like, but I got so many of these sketches, and they read them, and they're laughing, and I can't do it. Why not? You were laughing. Yeah, I can't do it. Oh, come on. I don't want to AI my own sketches.
Yeah, that's takes some joy
I
out of
want to do it the old-fashioned way, And it's not easy. In Bahrain, it was much simpler.
How long does it take to film a sketch?
I do it on within 2 to 3 hours of filming. I like to always organize a table read.
Yep.
So that everybody knows what's expected of them to learn their lines. Not only to learn their lines, but to give that character
authenticity.
You know, a sense of character. What can you give this person? You know, what can you do with this person? And that's how we do it. And we read it a few times. And then once everybody is set and happy, I get the location. We shoot on that day. No more than 2-3 hours, we're done.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So really quick turnaround for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You know, I mean, like, obviously people of Chappelle's caliber, you know, they take days to film a sketch. But, you know, they put all that effort and time and money, and you get comedy gold. Yeah. You know, I don't have those resources. I've got amateur people who've never acted before in their lives. But they're so excited about it that they give something great.
For sure.
And it does come out pretty well.
Oh, wow.
And so we did that. And it worked really, really well. And my main man, Trippy, that's his name. He's a professional skydiver and a pilot. Haven't seen him in a couple of years, but he was in my first 5 sketches. And they were the best sketches because he brought so much character into it, so much flamboyance into it. It was amazing because I played a character who had broken English, didn't understand American history, and he thought I was messing with him the entire time because he can't deal with, because he plays a character who's very pro-black, so he's very sensitive about the whole black history thing. All right? And I have no idea about history, let alone black history. So every comment I make, he thinks it's a personal attack on him.
Yeah.
And
so that would have escalated.
So it escalated in a way, and it blew up, and it was great. And I have another black friend who was trying to tell him, no, he's really not like that. He really doesn't know. And he's not convinced. But at the end of all that, I created one sketch, which we never got to film, where my character has a one-on-one time with him, because he finally accepted me for what I was. Yeah. But I turn around and say, I was fucking with the whole time. You know, it was supposed to be one of those situations. Yeah. Right? And then he has a nightmare, and he wakes up, and then it's me, and then it's me, and then it's the parody ending to Thriller. Come on, boy, I'll take you home. Right? And then when I turn around, I look at the camera and goes, nah, it's still me. I was messing with him the whole time.
Oh, wow.
Right? But cool. We never got to film that because he had to leave the country and we had to put it together. No, but that would have been the masterpiece finish on all those sketches that we did leading to that.
Oh, well, okay.
Because if you watch the sketches, it's like a story from one story to another.
Okay, so they're kind of stacking.
Yeah. Exactly right, yeah. And that's how it was at the beginning, before we branched out for others.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll quickly go back to the break and we'll continue talking about a bit about comedy and your sketches. We'll be right back. Stay with us, everyone.
Radio Italiana 531, la radio degli italiani in Sud Australia.
Porta il vero sapore italiano sulla tua tavola con i formaggi That's Amore Cheese. Oltre 65 varietà di formaggi realizzati con latte fresco locale, senza conservanti e coloranti artificiali. Prova la cremosità della burrata, la delicatezza della ricotta e la freschezza dei bocconcini. C'è un formaggio That's Amore per ogni occasione. Puoi trovare That's Amore Cheese nei migliori negozi di specialità gastronomiche e IGA. Visita thatsamorecheese.com.au. That's Amore Cheese, più fresca, più cremosa, più italiana.
Ciao a tutti, sono Daniele di Conti Estate. Qui a McLaren Vale facciamo vino come una volta, è la nostra vigna di famiglia. Un solo vino, lo Shiraz, giovane, fresco, con pochissimi solfiti e se di nuova annata, niente solfiti aggiunti. Vieni a trovarci, porta il tuo contenitore e riempilo direttamente da noi. Semplice, genuino, come piace a noi. E se ti va di fermarti, c'è il Wine Shed, il posto perfetto per un aperitivo, un antipasto o un pranzo in relax, dal giovedì alla domenica. Conti Estate, vino vero, atmosfera di casa. Chiamami allo 04 82 59 59 87. Chiedimi informazioni sulla free delivery.
Dinner Night al Molinara Club, venerdì 31 luglio dalle 6:30 di sera. Cena di 4 portate con antipasto, cicatelli, vil parmigiana, salsicce, dolce e caffè. $40 a persona. Prenota con John Baldino al numero 0414815806. Venerdì 31 luglio, Dinner Night al Molinara Club, 57 Lions Road, Windsor Gardens.
Prendo solito, vedo tutto un po' annebbiato, nero gotico. Mi piace quando lui mi guarda supersonico, poi ci mette il carico. Pensavo fosse un gioco, forse un amore platonico. Pallido, un
So we are back from the break, but we have a song playing in the background while we're chatting in the last 8 minutes of the show. So Magic Lab, it's been amazing having you on.
Oh, it's been great.
And we would like to quickly touch on the topic of how did you get into comedy?
At the lowest point of my life, I mentioned earlier how I just lost my job and it was very hard to get clients. I was also in the middle of getting a divorce and hadn't paid bills in 4 months, so we lived for 3.5 months to 4 months without electricity or hot water, and it was hard to convince our son we're camping but in the house. So and then I had to walk like a half an hour to a cafe so I can gain free Wi-Fi because we couldn't afford internet, we had nothing. And I stumbled on a club called the Bistro in Jaffa when I was living in Bahrain, and they said we're having a comedy night. Comedians get to eat free. I get to eat, because I've been eating nothing but little bread here, croissants there. So okay, screw it. I've been funny as a kid. I used to crack people up in school, and I had a story to tell. So I went, and to my surprise, nobody else was performing. Nobody signed up, but I went. So they had a show, and the show was showing us a video of past comedians, and then I would follow that video until it was over.
Oh, wow, okay.
So I was on stage for 7 minutes, and I told my story, and I had everybody eating at the palm of my hand for that 7 minutes, and I made them laugh. And the manager says, we're having another one next week. Can you come by? Sure. Do I get another meal? Yes, of course. I went for the food because I was hungry. I got to eat something decent. And I had to catch the bus and walk, so it took me like an hour and a half to get there. So I did a second show, and there was a bigger crowd, and I got a standing ovation. And at the end of that night, he goes, can you come one more time? Okay, cool. So I went, and I did a different material every time for 3 weeks. After the third week, he said, we're going to fire the guy who's been hosting the show, and we want you to host our comedy show.
Oh, wow.
I was like, oh, wow, I got a job. But it's only 1 day a week, but it's something. So I started that's how the comedy scene for me started. So I went to the Bistro every month for 6 straight months, doing different material every week for 6 straight months. And then it stopped. Then, because this was happening just after the COVID was over, and people were starting to open up again. But like I said, it was like a season, so they stopped it because they were making more money with karaoke and quiz nights and stuff like that. But a year, 6 months after that, when they started up again, it got bigger because I introduced roast battling, and that got all the Americans there.
Oh,
How cool.
So we started to roast battle each other.
Yeah.
And I said, for 3 minutes, anything goes.
Yeah.
And I mean anything goes. You can make fun of anything, including religion. You got it. You got my permission for 3 minutes on stage. You can make fun of anything, and everybody here is okay with it, or get out. And they made fun of anything. And they allowed us to do that for a good few months. And that's how I got into the comedy scene, and that's how I fell in love with stand-up, because when everybody laughed during my tragedy, like a load off.
Yeah.
It's also quite a challenging job to be a comedian too, because I've been to shows where some people are very new to be a comedian and then no one laughs.
There is that fright, but I didn't feel that because what more could go wrong at that point? I did not care about humiliation. I've been humiliated enough. I did not care about what I lost. I lost enough. I don't care if I get laughed at. I've been laughed at enough. So I just got up there and said, get to hell with it. I'm just going to say what I'm going to say. And if they like it, they like it. If they don't, I don't care. I just need to get it out.
Yeah.
And it didn't cost me no $200 an hour with the therapist. All right. I actually got a meal out of it. All right.
And free food.
Yeah, free. I got free food and a drink. All right. And it turned out to be something that I enjoyed, and it gave me something else to focus on. I took something that was going bad.
Yeah.
And I used there was nobody there to punch. All right. So I punched the papers. I punched the keyboard. I started typing and typing. And then that's when I shifted to sketch comedy as well. Why just be a comedian? I like to act. Let me do that as well.
Yeah.
So I started broadening my way of doing things. And it got a lot of attention, a lot of positive attention.
How do you prepare for a show? Do you ever get nervous as well?
You always feel that. You always feel that little energy of fear.
The butterflies.
Always. But I always make sure that I am very well prepared. I treat my set like a one-man play. I have to memorize my lines. But I want to go off script when I feel like I should go off script. But I want to memorize my lines. If I memorize my lines, I'm golden, because I know what I got is golden, and I know it's going to work. So, yeah, that's how I prepare.
Do you ever like practice in front of anyone at home?
Yeah, myself in the mirror all the time. All right? And when I get rules saying, oh, you've only got 5 minutes, I'll get the iPhone, put the timer on, and I do it. 7 minutes, okay, start again. 6.5, damn, how am I going to count more? And then at the end, I just forget a complete story, and then I end up being like a minute less, like 4 minutes instead of 5, But cut my legs off. I'm used to 7 minutes, When I came to Australia, it's only 5 minutes, so it was a little adjustment, but it was all good.
Well, now that we've got 2 minutes left of the show. Oh, wow. So quickly, what is next for you in terms of your comedy and everything else, even if it's for your business or for your podcast?
Well, right now I'm focusing mainly on my podcast and getting my business up and running, Fame Film Agency. I am going to Thailand in August, where I've been invited to a comedy club in Pattaya to do a show.
How cool!
I forgot the name of the club, but they sent me the email. So, by I think the 18th of August, I will be performing in Pattaya. So, if you're there, come and have a. So, people in Pattaya, if you listen to this, I'll be there. So, look out for the guy with the hat and thick eyebrows. Yeah.
How amazing! That's a pretty cool opportunity.
Yeah.